Welcome to Vintage Story, a game often thought of as a Minecraft clone, but is more like if Minecraft had a baby with Project Zomboid, given the depths of their crafting system, heavy survival focus, and constant threat of eldritch abominations. This is the story of my first 2 years, or roughly 200 days of survival, adventure, winters, and building. Oh, so much building. I also get into the game's main storyline towards the end, and it was awesome. If you haven't played this game already, I highly recommend picking it up. I had a great experience all the way through, but rather than just talking about it, I think I'll just show you. Our story began, as most stories do, with character creation. I decided to go with a sort of red-headed Viking look before moving on to picking my class. Having not really played this game before, I decided to stick with the commoner because I wasn't yet at the point where I could weigh the pros and cons of each class. I spawned into a forest and started gathering sticks I found lying on the ground. That is, until I ran into a wolf and decided to start my adventure somewhere else. Alright, let's not deal with wolves. Oh. Once I made it down to the valley, I managed to find some flint, which could be combined with the sticks that I found earlier into primitive tools. Okay. Alright, so let's make an axe head. In order to make flint tools, you actually have to nap the flint on the ground into the shape of the tool head you want before you can attach it to a stick, which is a really cool mechanic, but became a problem when the wolf from earlier found me again. Oh, no. Jumping in the river. No! Wow, this wolf really wants me. Eventually, the wolf decided to give up, and I was able to find a spot where I could assemble my tools. The next step was actually getting out of the river. Normally, this wouldn't be a problem, but one of the settings that you can enable in Vintage Story is gravity for blocks, which causes landslides. This is just a small example, and you will see more of this in the future. Once I made it back to dry ground, I foraged for food while I searched for cattails. Why cattails? Because that's what you need in order to craft baskets. And would you look at that, a bunch of cattails. This is perfect. And you need baskets because in Vintage Story, you actually don't start with inventory slots. You have to build them. There we go, our final basket. With my new backpack, I was feeling a bit more organized, but I could tell I didn't have much sunlight left in the day, so the next step was to create a campfire. In order to start a fire, I would need a fire starter, which makes sense, and is made of 2 sticks and dried grass. Fire starter, check. Next, I needed to create a fire pit by placing dry grass on the ground and then adding firewood around it. Fire pit, check. I used the fire starter on the fire pit, and boom, fire. Next, I built myself a shovel to help me gather some dirt so I could make a little dirt hut for the night. But the demons had different ideas. Uh-oh. No. I can hear more. Oh, no. Come on. Okay, hold on. Don't freak out. Plan. Heal. Oh, no. What are you? I hate it. I hate you. No. Oh, dude. Holy crap. I waited until the next morning before making my way back from spawn to get my stuff back, passing by the angry wolf from earlier. On my way, I stumbled upon bits of native copper, which I promptly marked on my map for later use. I managed to make my way back to my body and retrieved my stuff. But after just one night, I knew that I might be a bit in over my head and decided to look for an ally. And now might be a good time to tell you, if I didn't already in the intro, that this wasn't a solo playthrough. I was invited by a good friend of mine and fellow YouTuber, Rick, to try out Vintage Story, and you can go check his channel for his video after this one. I traveled around for a while, marking anything of interest that I came across before finally finding Rick. Rick! I see your smoke.
Coming?
Hello.
Oh, Marvin.
Hey. who admittedly seemed to be doing a bit better than I was.
Whoa, how did you get the your dirt to stay up like that? Is it the packed dirt that specifically?
Yeah, you gotta pack it down, yeah.
Ah, that's where I went wrong.
We spent some time discussing what we had found in and around the area, and it turns out Rick had a better shelter, but he was hurting more for food and didn't manage to find cattails for baskets. With the day coming to a close, I made myself comfortable, placing down a bed and cooking a piece of meat. I crafted my own set of packed dirt and worked to close off the shelter. But of course, nothing can be quite that simple.
I don't think they can get in there. Oh, we're getting smoked out.
Oh no! Oh no! Wait. Okay. Hold on.
Oh no!
No!
Break the front! Break the front!
Okay. Hold on. I can't. Oh no!
Okay. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm about to die.
I got you. Oh, I don't got you. Oh, I hopped in bed on accident. Oh no!
Oh my god! Okay, I'm gonna try and lure them out. Did you? It said you respawned.
I did. Yeah. Okay. Do you need me to open this up for you?
Nah, I think I've got it.
Eventually, Rick dug through the ceiling, giving us a chimney for the smoke to escape, and we were able to sleep through the night. The next morning, we dug our way out of our earthen tomb, only to find that the monsters were still waiting for us outside.
Oh god! Okay, I took a lot of damage. There's a boton in the bushes somewhere.
Oh, dude, there are so many. We gotta run, I think.
Yeah, we can come back. We'll come back.
Yeah. Let's just get out of here.
Once we got away from danger, we spent the day exploring. I took Rick over to the area that I had investigated yesterday so we could forage for food while we looked for a place to settle. We came upon a ruin during our travels and managed to find some roofing material and a copper shovel in a chest. We continued exploring and found a cool spot on the edge of a valley with a river flowing through it. We followed the ridge until we found a clay deposit around the time it was getting dark and decided this would be a good place to settle for the time being. I used our newfound copper shovel to clear a spot for the house while Rick worked on the walls. We used the roof pieces that we had found to make our dirt hut feel a bit more classy. We built a fireplace, this time planning for the chimney, and then started up the fire. Feeling safe and warm, we began working on the next steps in our progression. Now that we had clay, we could make things like bowls, pots, and storage vessels, as well as crucibles for heating up ore and molds for casting tool heads. But forming the clay is only the first part. You also have to fire the clay in order for your item to be useful. So the next morning, I headed over to a nearby forest to gather a ton of wood for our next few projects. Rick taught me how to create a charcoal pit by burying a bunch of firewood, lighting it on fire, and leaving it underground for a few days. And while we waited for that, we built a roof over an area where our pit kilns would be, so no rain could get to them. A pit kiln is a hole in the ground where you can fire your ceramic items by packing them with dry grass, twigs, and some sort of fuel source like firewood or charcoal. Once the pit kiln is lit, you wait a few days, and
our ceramic storage vessel is done, and our cooking pots are done.
Oh, let's go.
And in that time, our charcoal finished as well, so it was time to make another batch. Now that we had bowls and pots, we could finally enjoy a properly cooked meal. Next, we made some tool molds to help us get to the Copper Age. Once the molds were fired and ready, we threw the copper bits we had found into a crucible and brought it up to temperature using the charcoal we had made. Once it was hot enough, I poured the liquid copper into the tool molds, and after it had time to cool, we crafted our first metal tool, a copper pickaxe. This new tool would allow us to actually mine for ore deposits rather than relying on bits that we found on the surface. We made our way back to some of the areas we had marked earlier and began mining. Of course, you need to be careful of cave-ins.
Oh, you okay? Yeah, let me dig out the gravel above here. Oh god. Oh god.
Yeah, you're helping a lot.
But if you manage the danger, you can get quite the reward. Now that we were somewhat established, we took this opportunity to interact with others on the server. We had this idea of trading with them, but it turns out we didn't have what they were looking for.
I'm Evan.
Hey, what's up?
Dude, everyone here has slapped me at least twice. I have got like 4 bars of health. Yeah, but we can give you a crucible for like a couple bits of food.
We don't have any food.
They're even worse off than we are.
We're all starving, bro. What did you want from us?
We pressed on, continuing to explore the area, and ended up finding a deer.
There it is.
Okay, you go left, you go left, you go left.
Left.
Come on, we need this.
We need this. Come
Oh,
on.
it's attacking you.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yes!
Which we managed to turn into deer meat stew before making a dugout shelter for the evening. The next morning, another member of the server named Coconut taught Rick and I how to properly butcher an animal,
Oh, whoa.
and even gave us a butchering table that we could take with us.
Whoa, thank you.
With that, it seemed like it was time to head home, so we made a raft to travel back via the river. Once we made it home, we felt it was time to start improving our living situation.
We need a bigger base, man.
So we got to work constructing a larger building, which I think turned out alright, despite still being made of dirt. While I worked on the house, Rick made me some armor out of wood and some extra tools that we could use. And we slept that night in our new house. The next morning, I had plans on being productive, but I lost track of everything because I found a wolf cub. Just for context here, when Rick asked me to join this vintage story adventure, he asked if I had any mod preferences for the server. I didn't know much about the modding community for this game, but after a quick glance at the workshop, there was one mod I knew I needed: the ability to tame a wolf and have a puppers of my own. I really appreciate Rick just rolling with me on this one because it took us both quite a bit of time to wrangle this little pup into an area where I could build a pen for him.
Ah, there he is.
After that, taming the dog was my #1 priority. I'd go out looking for copper, then I'd feed that dog. I'd hunt for more meat to feed the dog. Rick even adopted a vegetarian diet for the time being, so we'd have enough meat to keep the taming process going. This is how things kept on for the next few days. While the main goals we were working towards at this point was gathering more food and getting enough copper to build an anvil, all the while trying to stave off the horrors of the night. My priorities were clear.
My dog is at 60%.
Until that fateful day.
No!
What?
My puppy turned into a wolf and now I can't tame it. And it killed me. This is the saddest day of my life.
I'm fine. I'm fine. After a day to recuperate, I logged back onto Vintage Story, only to find...
Do not tell me this is my dog. Did you kill and skin my dog? I'm upstairs.
No, oh my god, no. No, I would never do that.
I thought that was just like a power play. Like I wake up and you're just like, this is what you get.
I was very happy to learn that I wasn't playing Vintage Story with a psychopath. Moving on. So as it turns out, while I was dealing with the wolf yesterday, Rick ran into some problems of his own.
Hi.
Hey, could I borrow your hammer? Rick burned ours.
Are you serious?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Now that we had a bunch of copper and a mold, it was time to make our first anvil. The anvil is used to create items that you can't make molds for. The way it works is that you take an ingot that you pour, you throw it into a forge with some charcoal to heat it up to a workable temperature, And then with tongs in your offhand and a hammer in your main hand, you can begin to move the voxel around to shape the metal, which to me is pretty dang cool. Forging is probably my second favorite thing to do in this game. My first favorite will become evidently clear in a bit. Using the anvil, we made a saw blade, which would allow us to process logs into planks. Planks are a necessary component for things like buckets, chests, and most pressingly for us, a canoe, since we decided we were going to move to a more permanent location once we made it to the Copper Age. It took us a while to get everything ready. We bummed some copper off of Luggy, but eventually it was time for us to leave. But before heading out, I released my wolf back into the wild.
Dog has been released. Run off into the wild.
Oh, and this other wolf that I had trapped even earlier, but never made my way back around to. For the first bit of our journey, we moved on foot, until we made it to a new river system and dropped in our canoe.
We have a canoe in the water.
We loaded it with the chests that we had created and set off for a world unknown.
We're on our way.
Wow, this is so much faster than the raft.
We followed the river south until we saw a strange formation on our map. Since it was getting dark anyway, we decided to stop and check it out.
Whoa. Yo, look at this thing.
Oh, this is sick.
This is great.
Okay, we've got a good room.
Oh,
we got a really good room here.
are you kidding me? This is great. This is awesome.
What we found was a ruined castle, and though it took a bit of convincing for Rick, I knew immediately that this needed to be our new home. The next morning, after spending some time admiring the castle, we went exploring around the area to see what kind of resources we'd have to work with.
Oh, this place is cool.
Rick got eaten by a wolf, so I avenged him, giving us a bit of food. Then we started exploring some abandoned mine shafts, which are these long, winding tunnels deep underground filled with eldritch horrors. This one is called a shiver, and I don't like them very much. In these mine shafts, you can find cool loot inside of chests, as well as some valuable ore deposits, but unfortunately for us, we would need a higher tier pickaxe to mine the ore. But don't worry, of course we will remember to come back here when we progress to that point. Once we made it back to the castle, we began working on fixing it up a bit. I was working on building a roof to keep the rain out, while Rick was getting rid of some of the rubble downstairs.
Wait, I think there's a secret compartment here.
Wait, really?
Yeah, there's a bookshelf with like a space behind it.
Sure enough, behind one of the broken shelves there was a hidden staircase that led to a cellar.
Secret tunnel. Dude, are you kidding?
Oh, that's sick! Oh my god, that's
Whoa.
this the whole time.
Just a little plug for the Better Ruins mod. This was so cool. Now, Rick and I bond over many things, but I'd imagine one of the main ones is our shared inability to keep our attention on things. So, at this point, where most people would have probably taken the time to set up their base and prep for the coming winter, Rick and I repaired a teleporter and teleported to a temporarily unstable region deep underground with copious amounts of demons lurking, all the while maintaining our pro gamer status.
I need help. I need help, please.
Where are you? Where are you? I don't know where you are. You just run off without me.
I'm sorry. Please, forgive me. Okay, I'm alive.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God.
Run. I think we should leave. I think we should leave here.
No, we should go down. We should go.
What are you talking about? You said you almost died just now.
It's done. Okay, the entire cave's done.
Psycho.
We continued exploring and found another dungeon, similarly sullied by demon denizens. We did find some cool stuff though, namely some copper scythes. It wasn't until we got a temporal storm warning that we decided it was time to head back to the base. We made it home with some time to spare, so I worked on the roof some more until the second morning.
Nope.
The storm was upon us.
Yeah, I'm coming down. Yeah. Dude, everything is bad. Like my whole screen. Oh.
don't think they'll come in. They can definitely shoot in the upstairs bit.
Oh, dude. They are definitely inside the walls. Dude, everything's so warped. This is so funny. Oh, dude, that's rough.
I'm not entirely sure what these storms are, but I know that they spawn a bunch of high-level monsters, and that sounds like a good enough reason as any to stay inside. We dealt with the aftermath and then finally started working on stuff around the base, making new tools, mining for copper, which went really well. Whoa, oh. It just felt good to start making progress towards... Nah, I'm just kidding. We found ourselves facing off against two shivers at once, but luckily we had each other's backs.
A really bad one.
Oh, okay, we got one.
That's another.
I got him. Oh, dude, so sorry.
That's alright. It's because it got behind us.
Yeah, it got behind us. But hey, look over here. We found a cool hat. Moving on. We found ourselves facing off against another shiver, which Rick tried to take out using his bow until it broke. And little did I know at the time, that thing was a bellhead.
Oh, he
okay.
one-shot me. Full one-shot. I was full health.
Yep.
Now we were in a situation.
Oh, is that me or you? Oh, there's two of us.
The main shaft. Oh, no! Dude, the nightmare shiver is here, and I can't fight him.
Just run.
I can't, dude. I am literally trapped in here. I've just walled myself off. Oh,
I'll lure him away.
okay.
It's the only thing I can do right now. So where's my stuff? Where did I die?
Dude.
Go. Just run.
I'm just running. Was it left? No. Was it straight? I don't know where. Out there it is. Ah! Oh man.
Eventually, we made it out, and that felt like enough vintage story for the day. When next I logged on, I realized Rick had done some work around the castle while I was away, and this place wasn't looking half bad. Rick wasn't able to hop on for a while, so it was time for Mavin's day out.
Oh, no. Wolves, no.
So it turns out that in the renovations, Rick moved my bed, meaning my spawn point got reset to the world spawn.
Well,
Guess we're walking. After a long day, I finally made it back to the base and reset my spawn point. The next morning, I carefully made my way back to my body and retrieved my stuff. I then spent some time exploring and mining copper. By the time Rick got on, I had made it a pretty good distance away from the base, so I asked him to pretty please come pick me up in the canoe.
hello there.
Hello.
And on the way back, we discovered a wild-looking ruin with a bunch of monsters crawling out of it. This would have to be something that we came back to.
Oh, there's an underwater bit as well.
Dude, there's
that's so cool.
so many enemies crawling out of there. Oh,
Like
man.
a spider's nest. Oh, that's rough. Okay. We've got a mission now.
As we continued our way towards the base, we also discovered a trader. That's right, there are NPCs in this game. In addition to selling items, this particular trader told us that he had valuable information that he would be willing to share in exchange for a tin bronze pickaxe. Guess we know what we need to do next. We made it home and started working on making our first alloy. By combining different ratios of ore in a crucible, you can create different alloys like tin bronze or bismuth bronze, brass, and so on. Fortunately, we found a tin ingot when we learned of the secret cellar a few days ago that we could use for the process of creating tin bronze. I poured our first bronze tools, giving us access to a bunch of new tech, as well as the ability to start mining iron from those mine shafts. See, look, this is obviously us circling back to one of the old ones that were super close to our base, and not us finding a new shaft and Anyway, on the way home from that long trip, we found a hot spring.
Wait, it's only 87 degrees. It's not crazy hot.
Only. That's scalding, surely.
Oh, I guess I'm thinking Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like nearly boiling.
Now, getting to the Bronze Age was obviously very impactful, but nothing in the game was as impactful as the chisel. Picking up this tool for the first time sealed my fate. Like Thor wielding Mjolnir, I could feel its power coursing through my veins. At last, I had found glorious purpose in fighting the evil that is Cube. A calling for my soul to delight in, and a mission that would consume my every thought. From this point on, nothing else mattered. Needing an excuse to feed my new addiction, I determined that we had outgrown our current forge, so I began working on a smithy. In order to get the materials I needed to build it, I learned how to quarry stone using a hammer and plugs. I spent almost all of my time working on this project, first getting the general layout and building the roof. But I guess it was taking too long because Rick asked me to please focus on building a greenhouse so we could eat or whatever. Once the blockout was done, it was time to chisel. And chisel I did. After a while, we finally moved our stuff into the new building, and I kept working on adding details like trim around the bottom of the entire building and accents to the fireplace.
Hey, you arrived just in time to potentially save me from myself. I have this idea of this like Celtic knot.
You are gonna go insane with it.
I know. I need to stop.
So you remember our neighbor Luggy? Well, it turns out he came and visited while I was away and decided that he wanted to move down and join our little village.
Hello.
So we went up to help him with the move and saw that he had been living a very utilitarian lifestyle. We helped him get packed up, made our way to the river, and then I got left behind for some reason.
Here, I don't think. Oh yeah, let's go! It works.
All right, I guess I'm
See you,
walking.
Marvin.
All right. I just would like it to be said that I did suggest that we bring the second canoe because it would give us more slots, and you said no.
Rick and Luggy floated down the river until they reached a spot that had frozen over. And yes, water freezes in this game. Then we carried the cargo the rest of the way to the base. When we got home, I learned about leather working, which is a whole thing and a half. To briefly summarize, you soak an animal hide in a barrel with lime water for a day to turn it into soaked hide, which then needs to be scraped with a knife into scraped hide, which then goes back into a barrel for 3 more days soaking in weak tannin, which is made from leaving oak in a barrel for 24 hours, which then turns the scraped hide into prepared hide, which then goes back into another barrel with strong tannin for 4.5 more days to then finally give you leather. Even cutting out all the prep time required to create the lime water, weak and strong tannin, and the barrels, you're looking at 8 days from the first step in the process to getting leather. Talk about commitment. Fortunately, I knew exactly what to do with all that time. I made some additional improvements to my forge, then got to work on my next building project, which was restoring the barn. I'd remove the ruined parts of the building, replace them with new matching blocks, and then chisel in the details to make them match. It was through this process that I learned how to flip textures using the pantograph. I replaced the rotting floor and then chiseled a matching archway that made it easier to access from the road. Weirdly, we didn't really end up using this building for anything, but I was proud of what I had accomplished. Speaking of things we never really used, Rick asked me to make a notice board with the thought of using it as a group to-do list, but signs require you to use coal or other materials to write on them, so it just didn't really seem worth the effort or resources to constantly be changing the signs. During the next temporal storm, I did my usual thing and hid in the basement, only this time, monsters actually spawned in the room with me and killed me.
Nope. Hey, I was just talking about thinking that the light would stop them from spawning. They still spawned.
Yeah, they spawn anywhere, apparently, during the storm.
Oh. I died.
But that's not the worst part.
Rick, I moved my bed.
Oh no. Where are you? Are you at spawn?
I'm at spawn. Dude, there's a gigantic giraffe-looking thing.
Have you not seen that before?
No. What the heck am I looking at?
You've not really been outside during it, have you?
No, it's terrifying. I don't go outside. Whoa.
Another very long walk later, and I made it back to the base. The next morning, we had another server member decide to come hang out for the day. Meet Chaos, a vintage story veteran who is currently decked out in full plate armor and is so far ahead of Rick and I that it is frankly embarrassing. But at least he liked my forge, which I continued to work on while we waited for Rick to hop online. I added another section to the smithy so we could have room to build some helve hammers. And I gotta say, I'm pretty proud of this new archway staircase combo that I made. Anyway, something else you should know about Chaos is that during character creation, he chose to play as a blackguard, which means he has more health, more armor, and deals more damage than Rick and I could ever hope to. Which to me sounds like a perfect opportunity for us to get hard carried through a dungeon. You remember that big ruin in the middle of the lake with all the monsters? Well, we decided to bring our own monster. And I'm glad we did, because man, there were so many locusts. Just look at all the bodies lying around. While it was a bit of a struggle to deal with all the nests, each nest we destroyed gave us flax fibers, which we desperately needed for future projects. Now with all the expansion going on and the loot we've been getting, it seemed a good time to start working on a new storage room. And while I was looking for inspiration for the design, I discovered a beautiful thing: decorative blocks. Decorative blocks are added by the mod QP's chiseltools, and what they allow you to do is reskin functional blocks from the base game with a chiseled block of your own design.
Oh, interesting, dude. Interesting. Okay. So I'm testing out something.
To learn how this worked, I first reskinned my forges in the smithy to make them look like they were built in. And I gotta say, I love the results. Once I was comfortable with the idea, I worked on making custom skins for the chests in our storage area, making them look like countertops with drawers and cabinets. This also had the added benefit of still allowing objects to be placed on top where a normal chest wouldn't. I helped Rick design some torch holders for our road network. Then I continued working on the storage room by going a little overboard with the details on one of the support pillars. Now I could talk about chiseling for hours, but let's jump to something else for a minute. While I've been building, Rick has been working towards getting us into the Iron Age. Iron is a bit different than the other metals up until this point because the temperature required to work it is too high for normal crucibles. You first have to put the ore into something called a bloomery, which is kind of like a fancy oven that allows the ore to get to 1200 degrees. Once the process is done, you destroy the bloomery and all that iron ore has changed into iron blooms. You then reheat the iron blooms in a forge and then work it on an anvil to knock off the slag. With the slag gone, you can now work the remaining material into an ingot, which can then be turned into something useful. Now, rinse and repeat that process 10 times and you'll have the 10 ingots necessary to craft an iron anvil, which isn't done through pouring metal into a mold like the copper and bronze anvils, no. It's crafted by smithing a base and a top piece and then welding the two halves together with powdered borax. After all of this, we were so excited to finally get to this point, we wanted to show Luggy what we had accomplished.
The iron anvil.
Have you hammered it?
What?
Do we need to hammer?
Yeah, you need to hammer.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Oh, yeah. I see it. Oh.
Oh, yippee! Let's go!
Nice.
With our anvil done, we set up our helve hammer, which is a heavy hammer powered by a windmill that is used to automate some of the smithing processes that we had talked about earlier. And now seems like a pretty good opportunity to show you around the base. Now that we were finally into the Iron Age, Chaos returned, bringing with him another friend, fully decked out in plate armor. The plan was for all of us to head to an abandoned coal mine. You see, a while back during one of our mine shaft adventures, Rick and I discovered a map that gave us the location of a major dungeon, much bigger than the one that Chaos helped us clear a few days ago. This journey required a lot of prep work. We crafted armor, built a boat,
Yeah, look at that.
chiseled a dock because it was totally necessary and I don't have a problem. Before we loaded up on our new ship to sail to lands unknown. We did have one issue though, which was that our main body of water was actually a lake. And to get where we were trying to go, we would need to get out to the ocean. The reason this was an issue was because when doing the settings for the server, Rick disabled the ability to move water source blocks. To get around this, however, Rick thought of a clever plan to use aqueducts to create a channel for the boat to sail through.
Oh, it just about works. Huh.
It was a long journey to get where we were going. We sailed as far as we could before taking to the land and journeying the rest of the way on foot. All the while, Rick was finding pockets of meteoric iron. Eventually, we made it to the coal mine, and I gotta say, this place was very cool.
I think you can, yeah.
Put it on your back type of thing.
Yeah. Oh well.
Ah, there's these vessels underground.
Yeah. Another rope.
It's the marker that shows who built it.
That's so cool. Wow, what a cool design.
After looting the buildings on the surface, we made our way down into the mine.
Is it lit in?
Oh, watch out, watch
Yeah,
out.
bellhead, bellhead, bellhead.
I gained lag for a second, it's alright.
Oh my god.
Oh, dude.
Fortunately, we had the foresight to bring beds with us to set our spawns, which, by the way, is a mod, as it turns out. I'll touch on this again later when I actually learned about it, but yeah, could you imagine traveling for like a week in-game only to be sent back to world spawn? Oof. Anyway, down in the mines we found coal, which, you know, makes sense if you think about it, but we also found a bomb.
There's a bomb over here if somebody wants to light it.
He wants to back.
Oh, okay.
Which I imagine was placed where it was, so it would open the mine shaft to the next area, but, you know, landslides.
Oh my god.
But after some digging,
Oh,
Whoa! Are you kidding me? Dude.
Alright, let's not rush into this. Why don't we have any ranged weapons? We need Luggy.
Oh, man. There are so many enemies down here, man.
Oh my lord, yes there is, okay.
Oh, they're coming. I need to back up and heal.
oh.
Good, watch out.
Oh, she's got me. I'm gonna die probably.
Yeah, I'm
Got
going.
him.
I got the bow torn over there.
0 deaths?
Yeah.
0 deaths!
What?
Let's go.
What an accomplishment.
we looted the chests and then spent a ton of time mining out these glowing blocks with the idea of using them in chiseled blocks later. How cool would it be to have like a glowing magic circle on the floor of your forge? I mean, come on! After that, we actually ended up stumbling upon a second major dungeon while we were exploring.
Wow. This is awesome, man. Whoa, hello.
Which was a super cool old library where we found a bunch of paintings and wallpaper. We took everything that we could possibly carry before finally making our way back to the ship to head home. And at this point, we had been gone for over a month, meaning that I was overdue for another building project. My final build of the playthrough was going to be my biggest one by far. Over the time that we had been playing, people had been coming down to visit Rick and I, sometimes staying for days or weeks at a time, which got me thinking that our little town needed a place for everyone to come together where we could all hang out and sleep. We needed an inn. I spent pretty much the rest of the playthrough working on this place, making a custom bar and railings and an intricate support beam system to hold up the second floor. But I also wanted this place to be functional as well. So I spent a ton of time working on creating custom skins to make fireplaces that looked like stovetops, and a water barrel that looked like a sink. I think the thing that I'm probably most proud of was my custom ovens that had space underneath to store firewood. The building also had a cellar underneath that had a butchering room and connected to the storage building across the street. Now, admittedly, I didn't quite finish this project in the time that we had allotted for this video, but I do hope to finish it one day. After a very long time and a whole lot of chiseling, the day had finally arrived for our final grand adventure. Remember that merchant a while ago that said he would trade information for that tin bronze pickaxe? Well, the information that he gave us was the location of the Resonance Archives, which is part of the main storyline of the game, and was something that Rick, Luggy, Chemo, Chaos, and I were looking forward to investigating. To accommodate the amount of people that we had, we built a second ship. We had to break the ice in order to get it out to open water, then we set out on our biggest journey yet. But every major journey has to have a major setback. In order to get our ships to the Northern Sea, we would have to dig a channel over 100 blocks long straight through a mountain. And at first, things were moving slowly, as every block of dirt we moved seemed to be replaced by 3 more. But eventually, we developed a system working as a team to get the job done. Rick and Chaos would dig pilot channels through the mountain, while I used our quarrying plugs to remove large chunks of stone. Luggy and Chemo would remove the debris from any cave-ins, and before too long, we managed to sail our ships through a mountain. But the journey was just beginning.
Reduce the FOV, but yeah, it gives you that nasty fisheye effect.
I don't know if that one actually is a thing.
Immediately started freezing once I was in the water.
Oh, my clothes have taken a bit now. It's like a bit less max.
No. You hit Rick! Try outside.
I was waiting for him. Does he want us to... No.
Yeah, just come.
Finally, we made it to the entrance of the Resonance Archives and set our spawns using temporal gears, which apparently is the actual method of setting your spawn, which I guess makes sense thematically with the game lore, but those things are not super common, nor do they stack in your inventory. We walked in and threw a torch into the depths.
Oh my god. Okay.
It's still going.
We made our way down the ladder and into an ominous open chamber.
Yep. Lead the way, everyone.
Throw another
How
torch
far
on.
can we? Yeah,
What?
let's everyone.
Yeah, do not go down there, by the way. You can get out, but you're probably going to die of full damage.
Holy cow.
What followed next was an awesome series of rooms and puzzles full of lore and visual storytelling that was honestly really, really cool. Now, I'm not going to go in depth on the archives nor show solutions to puzzles, but I am going to show just a few elements from the dungeon in this video. So if you don't want any information at all, this is your warning to skip to the next chapter. This place was huge and a lot of fun to explore. It had interactive elements that had these really big wow moments for all of us.
Ooh.
let's
lit up.
Ooh.
Yeah, come back.
Oh.
We fought the boss, which was easier said than done, because I got stuck behind an invisible wall until Rick TP'd me back into the fight.
Dude, I can't. How do I get out of here? I can't. Dude, I'm stuck. Ah, thank you.
He's almost. We got him.
Got him.
But once we defeated the boss, we were rewarded with a quest item that would allow us to purchase elks. After the boss, we made it into the archive itself, where we learned about the building we were in and about the greater world of Vintage Story. Admittedly, though, we were left with more questions than answers.
I pray your journey is a short one. Only a couple decades.
So is this like the first quest?
It kind of seems
Yeah.
like it.
This is how you start?
This is essentially like... Yeah, this is like the intro to the story, essentially.
Holy cow. We've been here for 2 years. 2 years.
In the end, we accomplished a lot. But there's also so much more that could be done. Finishing my inn, upgrading to steel, getting mounts, maybe finally taming a dog. This game has been incredibly fun to play, both because the game itself is just awesome and has a lot of really cool mechanics, but also because I got to meet a lot of cool people and had a ton of fun building stuff that other people got to enjoy and engage with. To be honest, that's kind of why I do YouTube. I like to create things, but creativity without community is just loneliness. So being able to build a smithy and have other people actually use it and enjoy it was an experience that I hope to replicate moving forward. I'm so glad Rick invited me to join him on this endeavor. If you haven't already, you should go check out his video. He's a great storyteller, and even though we were together most of the time, our videos are very, very different. I wonder why. If you liked the video, consider leaving a like, and let me know if you'd be interested in seeing more vintage story content in the future. And if you made it to this point, thank you for your support. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.